Good afternoon, everyone. It's Hanifa from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would talk about the idea of oneness and have a little bit of an amusing approach to it because I heard the most fantastic lecture recently, and I'll put that link just under this video because it was that fantastic. Although I'm going to share pretty much the same information that was shared in that, and perhaps I do not have the enthusiasm or the same delivery approach that this speaker does. The speaker is Swami Chinmayananda. And in any case, we're speaking about oneness. And we're speaking about oneness with a little bit of amusement and truth. And of course, I thought I would share this idea of oneness because it's something that I speak about regularly in these videos. But also I truly believe it, and I wonder if you do. So I thought one of the easiest ways for us to understand this concept of oneness is to understand our own body. And in terms of healthcare, those of us that have worked with healthcare, whether for ourselves or a family member or just the world at large, if we have looked at health, we know that this entire body, for ourselves, we love this entire body. And how can we say we love this entire body? Because we can say that, each function of our body parts is different. So my eyes cannot do what my ears do. Your eyes cannot do what your ears do. Our legs can't do what our arms do. And yet we love them all. And how would we know that we love them all? Because let's say someone said, you know what, this is because of what you've done, whatever you've done, it's not good. And we have decided that a piece of you needs to be removed. Now, not because you've got a disease in that area of your body, but it's just a piece of you, something you've done, a piece of you has to be removed. So, okay, because democracy, you choose which piece has to be removed. So, anywhere on your body, just choose. And it's just going to be a small part. It's just going to be like this big indent. And I'm going to take out a piece of tissue from somewhere on your body. And it's okay with the hand, the leg, and there's not a single spot that we would want that, okay, yes, take this. We might actually say that, no, you know what? Oh, the other person has done something even worse than me, so why don't you take a piece of them? So we're very giving that way. But when we really look at it, why do we feel this, that, oh, there's no part of me that I would want to have removed? Because I pervade every cell in this body. So there's nothing about, oh, if it was on the face, it's less good than on the hand. If it's on the back, maybe we're very concerned about image. So if someone can't see it, then that would be okay. So that's interesting. And that's also the same idea of I don't see it if the neighbor or someone else is getting something done. And so we don't feel the pain of it. And so we don't feel the pain of that loss usually. Now, I come back to this whole idea of oneness. Now, we've all gone through the experience of, have you ever bit your own tongue by mistake? It's not in terms of trying to stop your speech about something, although that can happen too. But I'm talking about, sometimes people in the middle of eating some food will bite their tongue and it's super painful. And I believe that probably all of us have done this. Yeah, we don't say that, oh, remove that tongue, you know what, it's just getting in the way. So we don't say that. And so it's again, I pervade every cell of my body. And once in a while, all of us have probably gone through this too, we go to either rub our eye because it's not so comfortable and somehow we scratch it instead and suddenly super painful. Maybe we're even trying to get an eyelash off of our eyelid or side of the eye and somehow we scratch the eye and oh, super painful. Now, regardless of how fair we are, regardless of how fair we do not. Let's say that our job, our daily job is being a Supreme Court judge and we're so used to justice, we're so well trained in this role that we know about justice. And we don't suddenly say, you know what, this finger has unnecessarily provoked this eye. So this finger needs to be chopped off. And this is unprovoked aggression. And what happens in our actual body when this is happening? So when we've done this, when we have mistakenly hurt our eye by scratching ourselves, hurting ourselves, what naturally happens is the entire hand joins as a committee and goes to the eye to make it feel better. And there's this silent communication between the hand and the eye. The fingers are saying, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do it. And the eye is silently communicating, it's okay, I understand, I forgive you. such an important concept, right? So it's again, I find it amusing as a concept when you see it in this video. I think you'll be amused as I was, but it's the truth that this is what happens. So when we're thinking about this body as the world, we can see that this is happening. Yet I am the judge, and now I'm saying that no, you know what? You did something really not wrong, not right. This was really wrong, and you need to be punished. So let's chop off the fingers. But we'll often hear that, you know what? Chop that off. Now, we wouldn't do that for ourselves, that we would not. But let's say, what if it was the person next to us that scratched our eye? And definitely we'd say that's unprovoked aggression. And we'd say, chop off their finger. They need to learn discipline. They need to know. We don't say that to ourselves, but we will say that about anyone else. And why would we say that? Because they are not what we perceive as ourselves. They are not what we perceive as ourselves. Now remember, the finger is not the eye. So it's not the same. Different tissues, different forms, different functions. And yet, we don't do this to ourselves. We would do this out. And this would be, so the ruling would be, this finger has to go as an example for the entire body politic, that there must be discipline in the body. There must be discipline, because if every finger starts doing this, then that's going to be chaos. And that's how we think about the world, isn't it? And then would you say this? Would you say that? No, likely not. So then, again, when we understand that the fingers have joined together to help themselves. Now, imagine if the body has a scratch, an itch somewhere. So the leg has an itch, and the leg says, you know, hand, I need a scratch here. And does the hand say, no, leg, you know what? You can just do it yourself. Why should I help you? Do it yourself. That's something that you're your own space. That you just do it yourself. The hand automatically goes to the leg to scratch, and guess what? It's not only the leg that's satisfied. It's the entire body. The entire body feels better. There's such a satisfaction, not only for the spot that was itchy. It's the entire body feels. The hand even feels like so much better, that it's so happy that this space feels better. It doesn't feel happy about itself. Look what I did. It feels happy that this whole body feels better because that scratch has been tended to. So this idea that when something is different from me, I do not help it the way I help when I see something as the same as me. When the hand is seeing that the leg is still me, it helps. And there's no questions asked. But when it's outside of me, we don't do this so easily. So then, service, any sort of service to another person, is not the whole idea of before self and after self. So if I say self, I'm talking about small s, and I'm talking about, before ego and after ego. That, what are you doing for me? So if I scratch this, what are you doing for me, leg? And this is what the hand could say. It never does, because we see this as one. And when we see the world as one, we don't say, why are you asking me for this? Do it yourself. It's, if I can help you, I run out to help you. If I see suffering in the world, I run out to help it. If I see crying, I want to provide some comfort. And this is my natural role when I see the world as part of me. This is oneness. And this idea, this is not because they are others. This is not because, it's because I truly understand that they are me. They are part of this higher self, capital S. And this is the idea that unless, when we have seen this vision, we can only see this. We can only see with eyes of love and compassion towards everything we look at. And when we do not see this, we are so into a different space of, let's say, selfishness, ego-centered thoughts, words, actions. And when we see divine everywhere, the divinity comes out in ourselves, and we can respect every single person around us as having that divinity too. Today, I would encourage us to let's go serve people around us, whether close to us or far from us, whether you're watching something on the news and you send out a blessing and a prayer, or whether you're seeing the neighbor being not so kind to how they're treating the grass on their lawn. Whichever way, feel that energy of seeing divinity and see only the divinity and feel like helping. If the neighbor does not know how to maintain their lawn, go out and help them if you know how to. Don't sit there and judge it and say that's so not good, because that's what we've turned into, a society that's very big about judging others, especially, or what we perceive as others, and thinking really well of ourselves. Today, let us serve each other with this divine justice of kindness, consideration, compassion, love, and forgiveness. Let's work with this. I hope that this was somewhat amusing for you and that you might be entertained if you do see the video that I put as a link just under this. I want to just share 3 quotes before I finish, actually. One of the quotes that I came across that I wanted to start this video with says, "The God who existed before any religion counts on you to make the oneness of the human family known and celebrated." This was by Desmond Tutu, and how true is this? This oneness, the God that was existing before any sorts of God was specifically known, that this is the one that wants to recognize the oneness and celebrate it. And the second quote that I came across was by Buddha, and it says, "He who experiences the unity of life sees his own self in all beings and all beings in his own self, and looks on everything with an impartial eye." And what have we done? We have definitely started looking on everything with a partial eye. Well, this is what I think about that, and what I think is really important. I referring to ego me, as opposed to I, divinity, which sees everything with an impartial eye. And the final quotation I wanted to share with you, because I want to show you that whether we look at it from political leaders, political influencers, or we look at it from general spiritual evolution, we can see that it's the same message. This last message is from the Rig Veda, and the Rig Veda says, ego is the biggest enemy of humans. Ego is the biggest enemy of humans. You will notice that in nature, there is no ego. In pets, oftentimes we will see there's no ego. In general, living with one another, there is no ego. When there is that divinity energy that is celebrated and practiced, this is the difference between divinity energy and egoic energy. Today, let us be divinity. I wish you a fantastic day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.